The Brighton Bluebell. But what about Diesel? He'd slipped away the night before. He said goodbye to no one, but left two things behind: the nasty smell of bad manners and a battered bowler hat. The engines laughed as the controller closed the book. "Did that really happen, Stepney?" quizzed Adams. "More or less. He did leave us with one final rant about how diesels are the future, but the Sodor engines and I paid him no attention." "Well, I hope after this book the general public will start to pay us more attention." "Quite right, Bluebell," agreed the manager. "Given how popular the rest of the Thin Clergyman's books are, I suspect we will see an increase in visitors to our line. So I expect you all to be on your best behavior. I'm looking at you, Captain Baxter." "Yes, sir," sighed the old quarry engine. "Good. And with that, I recommend you all get some rest. We've got a busy day ahead of us tomorrow." As the manager left, Stepney noticed Birch Grove, the newest engine on the line, looking rather downcast. "Is everything okay, Birchie?" "Oh, it's nothing really, Stepney. I'm just sad I didn't get to feature in that book like the rest of you." "I think the only reason you didn't was because you arrived a few months after Stepney came back from the island of Sodor," interjected Cromford. "The Thin Clergyman had probably already started writing his books by then." "I understand that, Cromford. I'm not jealous or anything. I just feel a little bit left out of all the fun is all." And with that, Birch Grove went sadly to sleep, leaving the other engines concerned. Needless to say, the manager's prediction soon came into fruition. Tourists flocked to the railway in droves to see Stepney and his friends. The engines were kept busy all month, carrying tourists up and down their little line. Even the engines who weren't running were busy telling visitors about their lives and how they came to the railway. However, I'm sorry to say that Birch Grove didn't receive as much attention. The visitors were too interested in the other engines to notice the newest engine on the line. This depressed the big tank engine immensely. Stepney noticed this and decided something needed to be done. As summer turned into autumn, the engines remained busy. So much so that the manager had decided to organize a special train. "I've been talking to the representatives of British Railway. They have agreed to let us run 2 special trains from Brighton to Horsted Keynes along the Ardingly branch line before operations cease on the line. The first will be by 2 privately owned engines. The second will be taken by 2 of you. Due to the recent popularity of the Thin Clergyman's book, I think advertising Stepney on the train will sell tickets. The other engine I had in mind is—" "Please, sir, forgive my intrusion, but I think Birch Grove is the best choice to accompany me to Brighton. The first engine and the newest engine together would certainly be a sight to see." The manager, having not expected to be interrupted, quickly regained his composure. Very well, Stepney. Birch Grove, if you're happy with this, I'll make the arrangement." Birch Grove, still a little stunned himself, agreed. "Excellent. The train will be next month, and I'll go through the finer details with you closer to the time." He then walked back to his office, soon followed by Birch Grove, who went to take a train with Primrose. "Why did you butt in like that, Stepney?" demanded Captain Baxter. "I'm sure the manager was going to ask me to take the train." "Oh, stow it, Baxter," Bluebell snarled. "We all know you're in no state to pull even a single truck, let alone a couple of coaches. It would have been someone like me, Adams, or the Earl of Berkeley, but he's being mended at the moment." "My name is Captain Baxter Bluebell, and I'm sure that—" "Enough!" wheezed Stepney. I am sorry for stealing away the chance from you all with my demands, but I couldn't stand seeing Birchie not getting the attention he deserves, like the rest of us have." He puffed away, leaving the other engines with much to think about. It wasn't long before the big day finally came. Stepney and Birch Grove found themselves being polished to perfection in the colossal yards near Brighton station. When everything was ready, they were both quickly turned on the turntable and made their way to the station to find their coaches. As they backed onto the train, a chorus of cheers greeted the two engines warmly. Birch Grove couldn't help but smile as people crowded around him to take his photo and number. Stepney smiled as his driver fitted a headboard to his top lamp iron. It proudly read, "The Brighton Bluebell." "Ready to show what the first engine and the newest engine of the Bluebell can do, Birchie?" "I think the first and strongest engine of the Bluebell Railway will have no problem at all," came the confident reply. The guard blew his whistle, and the two engines effortlessly charged out of the station and out onto the southern main line. Fields and stations flashed by as the two engines made their way down the line. Other engines looked on in disbelief as a blur of yellow and brown was there for one moment and gone the next. "We can do it! We can do it!" barked Stepney. "Not a bother! Not a bother!" replied Birch Grove. It wasn't long before they reached the junction to home. As they crossed over it, Stepney sighed. "Oh, it's a shame this part of the line is closing down. We won't be able to connect to the main line anymore." "I wouldn't worry too much about that, Stepney," confided Birch Grove. "Who knows? Maybe in a few years the Society will make a push to reopen this line, or even the one up to East Grinstead." "You really think so?" "I know so. Also, thank you for recommending me to the manager for this run. It's made me forget all about that silly book business." "I'm glad to hear it, old friend. But there is one thing involving the book I'm curious about now." "Oh? What's that?" "Who's a better express partner, me or Duck?" The two friends burst into laughter as they traveled over the old rails one last time on the final stretch to home.